what a dud last night, Pat.
I
Holy
know,
shit.
man.
I mean, a lot of hype coming in after the first two, Monday or Thursday night and Friday night games. And then we get that last night. Whoa.
Horrible, bro.
And the way they did, dude. I mean, it's like, come on, dude. Like,
that's it.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us and welcome to Elite Fantasy Nation Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Dennis. You can follow me at Fantasy Matt EFN. As always, with my boy, Pat Wendelken. We'll see if this works, Pat. We try to mirror our cameras.
Not for me.
We'll see if it actually works live. So if anybody's there in the chat, let us know if it worked, who I pointed to, if I pointed to Pat or if I pointed the other way, because we were trying to figure that out pre-show. So, Pat, man, what'd you think about the game last night? It was
one-sided and not what we thought, but the Bills statistic continues. It literally was just, it is what it is, man. The Bills just keep on rocking. There's no stopping that.
That's what's crazy with like the score the way that it was, dude, and the fact that Josh Allen 31-10 was the final score. Buffalo over Miami at Miami, as everybody knows, and then he had all that offensive firepower for the Bills, and Josh Allen didn't really do much, man. I mean,
no, not at all.
It was kind of a letdown as far as like his stats were concerned in fantasy, but
agreed.
It was a little bit of a head scratcher, I guess you could say. I mean, there's really only a couple of people who scored a lot of points. James Cook, man. If you got James Cook, man, do you have him in any leagues, Pat?
No, I don't, man. I should have invested, but I didn't. That 31 points would have went a long way last night for me.
Dude, 31 points. That's crazy. Josh Allen, 13-19, 139 yards and one touchdown. That was it. And then they ran the ball quite a bit, over looks like 26 times. So a lot more runs. Obviously, the game is well out of hand by the third quarter. And then after everything happened with Tua, which we'll talk here about in a second, they kind of took their foot off the gas and slowed down quite a bit. But Khalil Shakir, man, top receiver with 5 targets, 5 receptions, 54 yards. And then Dalton Kincaid actually made an appearance, but didn't do great. 4 catches, 4 targets, 33 yards. But James Cook is kind of the topic of conversation on one side, and another running back is on the other side, man.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know, man. They're still evening things out over there, and it's just Curtis Samuel's not doing anything. Keon Coleman didn't do anything again.
I was texting buddies, and I was like, "Is Keon Coleman even in the game?"
Yeah,
I kept looking to see if he even had a target. I think he had 1 target by the time the game was over, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm not really. It was an impressive game. Like I said, I think the highlight we're all going to know and say is Tua getting hurt, and that's pretty much it, man. Like, this is the highlight. It's a bad highlight, but that's the highlight. I guess you could say that. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man.
Yeah, that's obviously the big news coming out of today. Third quarter, after getting sacked a couple of times and actually doing a decent job keeping his head off the turf. You and I were talking about this before we jumped on. And then, what was it, 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, I think it was, Pat?
Yeah.
And he goes for a run. And then after he's already got the first down, just decides that he's going to lower his helmet and just literally like a battering ram, try to run into somebody. Not good at all. And then it looked, I didn't see it initially on the replay, but he definitely fell and his arms froze up again.
Yeah, went to the fencing pose, and that was
isn't that what they call the fencing pose, right?
Yeah, fencing stance, and that's horrible, man. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's time to hang it up. You're jeopardizing your health for the long run for your future. So you made the money, keep on going, and that's it.
Yeah, we were talking about this too. So I didn't realize, I heard it on a podcast this morning. Apparently he's had 1 concussion in Alabama that kept him out a few games. Then his rookie year, he didn't have any. Then 2 years ago, he had the 3. Only 2 were like officially deemed concussions, but we all know it was 3.
Yeah.
The one was the fencing post that everybody saw. And it was also, again, on a primetime game, dude. Like, there's something about him in primetime games. Like, I think the one where he wobbled, I think, was a regular game. And then the fencing one was...
that was against Cincinnati. I remember Cincinnati. I was there for that game.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, so that was like a huge, obviously, concern for him. And then he came back and then had one towards the end of the year as well. And then, last year apparently gained some, beefed up a little bit, gained some weight, didn't have any concussion problems last year. And then game 2, here this is. So to your point, at the end of the day, we talk fantasy football a lot, but this is about somebody's health and somebody's mental capacity, what he can do afterwards. Those are very scary. I mean, this one he was able to get up and was able to walk out on his own, and was limping. It almost looked like too. I don't know if that was from wooziness or if it was just from.
That he was out, Matt. They literally had like a loss of consciousness for a minute. He went out. So
okay,
yeah,
so
that sucked. You know, like I said, you know, onto like things. Hopefully, he has better health and he really makes the decision for himself to stay healthy. And that's it, man. That's what we got to go with. So
yeah, and he almost retired. I mean, again, going back to real quick, and we'll wrap this conversation. But
yeah,
he almost retired 2 years ago during the offseason. Apparently, he was talking with his family and his wife at the time. I think he was engaged and was talking about whether or not he should retire. Decided to try to like do stuff to make it, you know, less likely, like the judo or jiu-jitsu, whatever he was doing, but not a fall. So I'm sure, you know, you and I Texas, I'm sure he's gonna have long conversations with his family and the risk versus the reward, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not worth it for a game of football, dude, for your life.
Not at all. So I mean, like I said, it wasn't the greatest game. Stats numbers, like Hill finished with about 6.6 points, and
dude, that was
it was just like after that, it was very dull and dud game. I mean, the two main guys were going to be James Cook. He dropped about 31.5 points yesterday, 3 touchdowns, and went off. Had a phenomenal game, fantasy wise, and Devon A-Chain too was the other big hitter. So that's really it on that end, man. There was like those were the two real highlights. Was the battle of the running backs.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
It.
H.N. looked like a beast mode, man. It was like it's funny, not funny, I guess. But regardless of the injury that happened, two high power offenses that are known for passing, and here they are, both of them ran the ball like to the end, beast, to the end of the world. So I mean, but yeah, Buffalo looks like they're a beast, man. It looks like they finally found a running back that can help to balance, you know, that offense so that it's not just Josh Allen all the time and trying to be hero Superman, put it on the cape at all times. So I'm sure for them, you know, it probably helps them go for the future and for the outlook on the season. But yeah, what a wacky way to start the season, man.
Yeah, that's it. So
we've also got news. I don't know if you know news I'm talking about. There's news. Some CMC ruled out.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah, right. Yeah,
officially, I mean, everybody said he's probably gonna be out, but it became official earlier today. So for anybody that has not seen it, that might be watching now, he is ruled out and will not be in. So Mason is obviously a all wheels up, must play running back 1 for this week. So
can I say one thing, man? Jalen,
you can say whatever you're at, man. Come on, dude.
Jalen Wright not getting anything really. Like
you gotta smile though if you're gonna say stuff.
Yeah, but Jalen Wright really upset me because I was like, dude, I'm so pumped to see how this guy's gonna go, and like nothing. I was big on him, man. Like he had such a good combine in college. I'm like, come on, man.
It's like a second game. It's a second game, though. I mean,
but it was a blowout. I would have threw him in. Like, let him get his runs. But whatever. All right, Matt. Let's get on this. Let's get in the this Sunday lineup, bro.
All right, Sunday lineup. Why don't you pick the first one, and then we'll kind of go from there. We'll do start sit. So the before we jump into the games. For today's episode, we're going to do start sit. Anybody that's in here, if you got questions, jump in and throw some questions out there. If not, man, we'll just keep rolling through the games, you know, and we'll do start sit, and then we'll get through the games and talk about who we were liking, what matchups were our favorite the most, who we're going to sit, just based on matchups as well, and then guys who we think that are going to bounce back.
Yeah, for sure.
So Pat, which one do you want to hit first?
We'll do let's go to Vegas, Baltimore, bro. That's first on the list. Let's see here. So let's run with that. Right, on the Vegas, I am sitting Zamir White. Did horrible. And
dude, he did.
Madison is starting to steal touches, so I don't feel comfortable with that. So I'm out.
It's almost a split, dude.
Yeah, I'm not really fan of it. And Devontae Adams is probably your number 1 start. And I'm gonna and Brock Bowers you could do too. I think those are probably your top 2 from Vegas that you're really worth to have some value.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, no, I agree.
You know,
Baltimore's pretty.
Yeah, Ravens. You got a nice little ticket you could play with.
Yeah. So Baltimore's pretty easy. Also, if you're here, anybody that's here or watching afterwards, please hit the like and subscribe. I don't know if Pat, you saw we're at 110 now.
Yeah, so we got a couple more.
We got a couple more, 4 since our last episode dropped on Tuesday. So please keep it going. We're trying to hit 125 by week 3.
Yeah.
So hit the like. Getting there. We're trying to move this train, man, inch by inch. You know, we're trying to just do as much as we can to keep this thing going and to get more content out there. So
for sure.
Baltimore obviously going to start. I think Mark Andrews is going to have a hopefully a comeback game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like big game. I think he's going to have more of a Mark Andrews game. I think he's going to be back in the fold. You can't sit him. You know, Isaiah Likely obviously was a beast last week. But in general, you know, I don't think you can sit him. And And then Pat, if you want to, when you get a chance, throw that thing up from Kyle. So yeah, Mark Andrews, I think it's worth it. Isaiah Likely, so it'll be interesting to see if they're not double covering Isaiah Likely, how Mark Andrews will do. So definitely start all the big starters. Derrick Henry, I think, hopefully, knock on wood, because we have a lot of the Derrick Henry shares. So Derrick Henry, I think, is a start. And then obviously Lamar, you're going to start too. And then from a receiver standpoint, dude, I don't know if I can trust Zay Flowers, dude. So I'm sitting Zay Flowers. And then Justice Hill, if you absolutely need to, is like a deep bench. The only reason why I'm saying that is because of the fact of getting passes out the backfield, although they're playing Las Vegas. So there should be a run all over Las Vegas. It should be a blowout. I don't know if they're going to have to do a lot of passing. They passed a lot last week just because of they're trying to keep up with the game. So that'd be my thoughts on that.
All right, Matt. Let's help out Kyle, bro.
So Kyle Singer, man, what's up, dude? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, brother.
Hey, my guy.
Pick 3, full PPR, bro. What do we got? You got Mason, Ford, Williams, and Etienne. Matt, go ahead. What are you thinking for Kyle? Help him out, bro.
Well, obviously Mason's a must start.
Yeah,
given everything now. So that's an ending question. So then it becomes 2 out of Ford, Kyren Williams, and then Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne, I feel like, is sharing a lot more of the backfield. I think Kyren Williams is going to be the lead back and continue to be the lead back. So he'd be my number 2 back.
Got it.
And then for me, it'd be between Ford and Etienne. And then, thinking about the matchups and just how bad Cleveland looks. That's like kind of a toying cost. I probably would go Ford.
And they're playing each other, which is crazy.
Yeah, they are playing each other. So, obviously defense for Cleveland is really good. Front line of the defense is really good.
And,
like said, Etienne
and now Etienne is getting like Bigsby starting to little by little.
He's already eating it. No, 100%. And they've said that before. They don't want to give him. They gave him way too much workload last year, so they're hoping to like tear back on that. So I would probably lean Ford, but I think it is very close.
Yeah.
What's your thought, Pat?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you for sure. Mason for sure. Williams have to go, and then I probably would go maybe Ford with this. I think in my eyes, I would, because but yeah, he said staying away from the Browns. I agree, but
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. The Browns have such a good defense too right now. They could play really strong. I mean, the Cowboys are just blew them out with their first game, but I think the first 2 to 3 weeks are a little different. So we'll see. So,
yeah, and I mean
there's no real bad answer to this one,
Yeah, and the argument about the whole Browns conversation is the Browns defense is really good.
And
but
you're saying
again,
the O-line isn't that great,
Yeah, the O-line for Jacksonville isn't that great, but at the end of the day, like they're probably going to be
Cleveland. He's saying.
Oh, I think that's fair. That's a fair point. Not that great offensive line for the Cleveland Browns. You're correct. That's why Deshaun Watson was having so many issues at quarterback. That's why he's kind of scrambling. Although Deshaun just looks like trash in general. But yeah, I mean, go through gut, dude. I think Travis Etienne. I think my biggest fear with Travis Etienne is one. They've already shown that they're split in the backfield. They showed that in week 1. They want to take workload off of him. Jacksonville probably be up heftily. So are they going to how much will they utilize Etienne versus, giving Tank Bigsby a little bit more and kind of mixing it up a little bit more. So that'd be my thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, man, I think you can go either way. You're pretty solid. I mean, I will agree with this. I do like the, Jacksonville's offense way better. So I will give you that one. So,
100%. I mean, they didn't look good last week against Miami, but Miami, honestly, Miami's defense isn't what it used to be or what it was last year. And the fact
it's crazy because Ford had 44 yards, 1 touchdown, and Etienne had 44 yards and 1 touchdown. The only difference, and they had the same amount of attempts, both had 12. So you literally are splitting this evenly from last week to this week.
Yeah,
their stats are mirrored. So, yeah, man, I can see. I'll go Etienne actually on this one.
You're gonna split it?
Yeah.
Okay. See, and here's the other thing that I look at too. So talking about stats. So Deshaun Watson's not going to pass 44 times again. Like that's the biggest thing. I don't think he's going to pass 44 times. I think they've realized. I'll
tell you this. That's a great point he put up right there, man. That Corum is like getting. I don't know, man.
One?
Right here, like when I posted up for us.
Oh, got it. I have Corum on the bench. Should I try to drop him for Bigsby? I would. In a heartbeat. I don't think there's even a question, honestly, dude.
Bigsby's going to be a lot of people this week on my waiver wire. He was gone on every one of my leagues. 100% were gone that I wanted him because that's a big one, especially people that had the handcuff with Etienne. We're big on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow, this is the problem with week 1. It is hard, and he put up here, it's hard.
Yeah,
it is hard,
super
Kyle,
hard.
and the problem is like this is week 1, so like everybody's reacting right now to what they're seeing. Blake Corum had a lot of stock coming into it, to the season, looked good coming out of college. Obviously had a lot of hype behind that, and also in that offense, thinking that they could run a lot, like he could do a lot in that offense, right? They didn't utilize him that much at all, so so there's the overreaction. There's a lot for Tanks Bigsby right now. He's split in the backfield, so it's kind of, it's one of those things. I personally would drop Blake Corum for Tanks Bigsby, but I think at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised in 3 or 4 weeks if Blake Corum all of a sudden, you've got Kyron Williams has an injury or has a tweak, and all of a sudden Blake Corum's running the ball more than what it was before. Like that wouldn't shock me as well. Again, it is so early, but it's difficult, dude. I mean, great questions, man. You're like fired off like super early. Love it, dude.
At the same time, man, since you got to go sometimes with your gut, but honestly,
you do have to go with the gut.
You got to go with. I mean, I take Tank Bigsby, especially if ETN. I mean, why not? They're going to be starting to chew. In one of my leagues, I have Gibbs and Monty. I have both, and I start both. That's where I'm at. I told Matt the other day, one of my big money leagues, I run with both of them at all times. When the running backs are hot, or a team has that hot hand with the running backs, and they're kind of doing what they have to do, I'm running with it till one kind of fizzles out or one gets hurt. You just never know. But I would the handcuff of having it, you might as well just rock with both. Because I mean, dude, Bigsby had 12 attempts, same amount, 73 yards. He had more yards, just didn't get into the end zone. Did.
So yeah, he had more yards. He looked a little bit better, to be honest with you. So
100%.
And then you go back to last year, and again, Etienne wore down at the end of last season, and that was the whole point. It was like they don't want to run him into the ground, so they're going to definitely utilize in the 2-back system. Now, is it going to be 50-50 split from now until the end of the season?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not. It might go game script dependent. It might be 60-40 one week, 70-30 another. Like there's going to be fluctuations. It's not going to be Tanks Bigsby, kind of right off the bat. But I think there's at least more play with him right now. No, you're good, dude. There's no need to apologize, bro. This is the whole point of it, man. This is why I wanted to go live. So we're gonna start
as much as you want to ask me, man.
You can ask 1,000 questions, man. We can always. We've got more that we could recap tomorrow and keep going. So as many questions as you got, man, fire away, dude. Pat'll keep throwing them on there. So
what was that? Matter to me, bro. The more the merrier, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. This is why we wanted to do it, to engage more, have a lot more conversations. This is new for us too, so like getting random questions shot at us is probably going to take us a second to kind of compress and think of the right answer. But we want to make sure we're giving you, and all the questions you have the right answers. So, or
yeah, bro, whatever you want, man.
Hell yeah. So there's one more. What did he hit?
Yeah. I said he's good, man. Yeah, for sure, dude. Whatever you want. That's what I'm saying. Like even with the start sits, like this is what we're here for, man. That's why we're just going to go run through the games and see what we can do to help anybody else. And like the next game we're going to be on our list, even if it is, and not the best and the sexiest game, still got to go through the Panthers Chargers.
I just saw that too. I was just clicking on it too.
I mean, it's nothing crazy.
Who do you want to take?
I'll take the Chargers. Give me the good one this time. So
all right, that's fine.
So man, I'm not starting Herbert. There should be a lot of better options at the time, but J.K. Dobbins is a must start, bro. He was a monster, man. 10 attempts at 135, 1 touchdown. I would run it against a crappy Panther team that just got blown out by the Saints. You have no choice, bro. Absolutely no choice whatsoever. Yeah. What do you think?
That's all you got on the Chargers?
I don't know, man. Like Lad McConkey, there should be you should have better options in there, but
you'd hope. Lad to me is more of a wide receiver 3.
You don't need him.
Yeah, I mean, until he shows more, it's like there's no guarantee that he's going to continue to get the targets. I mean, again, it was his first game, so it's hard to anticipate. Again, first game as being a rookie, and then defense is going to start to adjust to you. So there's a lot of things that can happen week 2, week 3, and moving on. I'll say in the Carolina side, man, I'm scared. We talked about this a lot, before coming into.
I gave you the easy side.
I don't know if you gave me the easy side. You did give me the kind of the depressing side, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think you start anyone in Carolina at all. And
I mean, there. It's difficult to even fathom. Bryce Young, again, it goes back to it. Like he looks lost. He does not look like a number 1 overall pick. He does not look like a starting NFL quarterback, to be honest with you, at all. I have him in a couple of leagues that I got in, just through rookie drafts and dynasty. And yeah, it's a shame. Chuba Hubbard did not look good. Deontay Johnson, because of the passing attack, was not good. So yeah, going down, I 100% agree with you. I don't think you can touch anybody in Carolina. I think this game's very sloppy. At home in Carolina, So I'm interested to see if they step it up a little bit better this time. But yeah, it's gonna be a sloppy game. I'd stay away from everybody.
100%. Yeah, man.
And if you own Bryce Young, I feel sorry for you, dude, because I feel your pain. Yeah.
We can go to the next game. We'll go to New Orleans, Dallas. That's gonna be next on the list, and that's definitely a different look.
Yeah.
You could take the Saints. I want the Cowboys this time, bro.
Saints. All right. So Derek Carr. Here's my question to you, Derek Carr. Do you believe we talked about this in Tuesday's episode, but we're going to go through it again. We're going to hash it. This is a better defense that is going up against in Dallas, obviously.
Yes.
Do you believe the hype? Do you think he's obviously not going to have the game that he had last week, but do you think he's going to have a starting quarterback, fantasy starting quarterback game?
Hold on. We got another one for you.
Yeah, Kyle. What's up, man?
I got you,
again,
bro.
Back again.
I appreciate it. Seriously, I'm going to chill.
Denton Smith, Godwin, Trey McBride, stream kicker defense good.
Trevor Lawrence, Ben Shakir, Dobbs, Gabe Davis, and
Chubb. I don't know,
bro.
We've had a lot of conversation about Chubb. I don't know. I don't know if Chubb's going to be anything this year, to be honest with you. Just with that injury, the horrific injury, when he comes back, it's going to take him a very long time. He's not even ramping up yet. So I mean, it's not even like he's practicing or doing anything. He's still on IR. Obviously, they're still having to hold him out. So I'm worried about Chubb, just personally.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm trying to figure out what the question is. What's the question? Oh, he's just giving the team. Got it.
Yeah. So he's showing it what he's got over there. Which I get, which is cool,
Here, just in his.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all, bro. I love Devontae Smith. I'm so high on this year. Like, I have him in a couple of my leagues, man. Like, I'm 100% with you on that. And Godwin's gonna get with Baker the way he's throwing, bro. You cannot go wrong with that at all, man. I'll tell you that. He's gonna be eating just as much as Mike Evans, so I'm with it.
I'm gonna put his team back up. And
for sure.
We know the three that he's talking, or four that he's talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Kyle. Like, I normally drafted really good. There was one league, Shake and Bake, that one of my trophies is behind me. I didn't win it last year, but I was in contention. Excuse me.
So he was 10 and a 12-man. There you go.
Yeah. So I literally am the last person I'm 12 of 12. Like, my team looks like absolute dog shit. And sometimes, you draft a team and you draft the right players and they just don't execute. I mean, Trey McBride, we talked about this on Tuesday. Tight ends are a big question mark right now. Everybody who's from Trey McBride, Mark Andrews has talked about. We talked about Kyle Pitts, who happened to get a touchdown, but other than that, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, went through the list, and it's basically like everybody who should have performed didn't. Amon St. Brown, he didn't do anything.
I mean, and look at all
he's
the
in the first round,
ends.
dude.
We went through this. I mean, you picked like 5 or 6 people, and they totaled out to like less than the defense and the kicker between the Bears
and they were starters
and Moody from the.
And they were starters that you would have always had in your lineup. So like that's the thing too, Kyle. You can't. It's week 1. It's easy to sit here and trust me in one of my leagues.
Yeah.
So in one of my leagues, like I was looking at my team, like I said, Shake and Bake. It's one of my longest running league. It's the first league that I ever joined and started to get into fantasy football. I've been in it for 20 something years.
Yeah, man. That's what we're here for.
And bro, like I'm telling you, like I literally looked at it. I think I scored 65 points. I think I'm gonna pull it up. Pat, you keep talking. Talk for a minute. Let me pull up my team real quick. And I'm gonna tell.
Kyle, dude, this is like your room, bro. It's like we're here. It's like therapy, bro. Whatever you need, that's what we're here for, man. Literally, like I don't mind any question or anything what you need. Do the best we can from number point and everything else.
Well, and that's why I wanted to do this too. We want to do this to build a community.
Oh well, yeah. Last year,
it's not to sit here.
He drafted Chubb and Dobbins, so that's pretty rough, dude. That's just bad luck at running back, man.
All right, so Kyle, I'm gonna talk about Shake and Bake here for a second, just to kind of give you kind of like how I feel your pain. On my team, Joe Burrow, Kenneth Walker, Raheem Mostert, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Kincaid, Chris Olave.
I remember that.
Chase Brown. Kickers and defense. So I have Sanders, who's the Miami kicker, and the Eagles defense. I scored 61 points, dude. 61 with that team. And I look like dog shit, dude. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, it is it's week to week. My highest scoring player was 17.9 points on this Kenneth Walker. Nobody else scored over 10. 61 points, dude. But I read off the team, and that's the thing. Like, if you listen to that team, you're like, that's a pretty solid team. I had the stack of Chase and Burrow, the chase, the jersey behind Pat. If I'm even pointing the right direction, we haven't figured that part out. I have to watch.
It's on the other side, but it's okay.
But yeah, I mean, I did all that, and like I have 61 points. I look like a fool, But we believe that it's process over player, keep the process, keep that in your mind, dude, and don't second guess yourself, especially after week 1. Look at more. We're more like look at stats in the sense of like usage versus looking at points that you scored on your fantasy bench. So look at who's getting the targets, look at how many the run distributions, the carry distributions, and then from there, you might be able to start to like be like, all right, this is looking a little scary after week 2, week 3.
Yeah,
but not after week 1.
It's a lot of overreaction to what we were saying, like
100%,
like that patient and panic thing we were talking about. Like either you're gonna be patient about it and ride it out, or just don't panic too much. But there's some panic meter that you're gonna have to work with. There's some people you're gonna have to question, but I mean, I think you're fine where you are so far. Especially when you have Ford, bro. You have a solid, and Mason too, bro. Come on, man. You got
you got Godwin and Devontae Smith, dude, is like your 2 wide receivers. Fine. That's a legit wide receiver room. Trey McBride, hopefully after week 2, they'll utilize him more, especially once they start to get Marvin Harrison going. That should open up some passing targets for him. Stream kicker and defense, like who cares? Quarterback was Love. I also had that issue too. I mean, you can't really do anything, but you've got Trevor. Trevor is going to be a question mark. We've talked about this as well. Like, what do you think, Pat, what do you think about Trevor going forward? He didn't have a great, obviously, week 1. We've talked about him in the past.
Yeah.
Not really looking like an elite quarterback that is drafted as 101 in the NFL draft. What's your thought going into week 2?
I could see it better. I think. I mean, you're going against another, you have a good defense.
Cleveland. Yep.
So it's gonna be tough, but I still have faith in him. I think he has a good team around him. The wide receiving core isn't the strongest, so I think the run game is heavily heavily gonna be worked on and depended on. As you could tell, Bigsby and ETN are definitely gonna be the workhorse. So you're right there. That's why I think you have to get Bigsby like now.
Yeah,
I would just drop Corum and get Bigsby.
I would, because at least you're handcuffing yourself at the end of the day. So if you start to see the transition go more to Bigsby, like Pat said, at least you already have him. You don't have to then scramble and spend a lot of fab or worry about where you're at within the waiver wire order. Like how far down you are on the waiver wire order. So I would do it now.
But I mean, Trey McBride, he's solid with 2 for tight end. Like, dude, it just like I said, just give it a week or 2 and see how it blends in. I mean, look at Marvin Harrison Jr. did absolutely nothing. And that's
dude, he had one. He had one catch for 2 yards. Like, it's like, I mean,
gotta run with that, bro.
Again, some of this is probably going to be, there's not enough data to tell whether or not this is going to be the consistency throughout the whole entire season, but some of it may stick, and that's something that just unfortunately we have to wait the next couple of weeks. But definitely don't wait. Do it right now, like you mentioned.
Just
do it
now.
Greg, there's no Bigsby and
you'll be safer that way anyway. So don't even worry about it.
All right. Was I on the New Orleans side? Is that what it was?
Yeah. So you were just talking about Derek Carr. You asked me, and then
Derek Carr. So did you answer? I can't remember.
Oh no. So on that point, Derek Carr, I'm gonna hold. I want to see. You're going against Dallas, bro.
Where do you value him then? So between, let's just say QB, like put a range. Is he? I don't know.
Not
QB,
top 10.
So you're thinking like
he's under 10,
12
to 16 range, like in that. Okay. I would go with. So I mean, you could use him if you needed to, but
super flex. I think you definitely could use him. Obviously,
but I got a classic.
Alvin Kamara, you're playing.
Kamara, you're playing.
You're no doubt, which is crazy because we talked about him at the beginning of the season, and again, this goes back to like owning, thoughts we had. Older running back. He's getting 1 year older. I didn't think that they're going to utilize him as much. But once they put Kendra Miller on IR, that should have been a sign that they're going to ride Alvin Kamara. It should have been pretty obvious at that point. I think Chris Olave have a little bit of a bounce back. He didn't look great last week.
He literally got off, and he's going to pick him up literally as we speak.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do it, man. Do it. Rashid Shaheed. I think you got to play him, dude.
But I think this week, don't expect what you expect last week, bro. By any means, you're playing against the Cowboys, I think maybe Olave. It's gonna be a different look. So like I said, listen, if you could buy low, and the cheap side, that's what you got to be. Like, this is where steals are going to happen for desperate people. If people go down 0-2, panic meter will set in heavier.
Oh, then you start going for trades. Then you start trying
will be going heavy. When people are 0-2, they're like, I gotta do something. And that's when you can capitalize from that.
Well, that's when you try to grab CMC. If you start to hear that it's coming back, and give him 2 players for CMC, like a bench player and maybe a starter to get upgraded at a running back position. Like if you want to do ATN and somebody, and then get CMC.
I'm with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So we're gonna go into Tampa Bay and Detroit.
Wait, you didn't start the Cowboys. Who are you starting?
Oh no, it's you. I did it. I said
I didn't even say it yet. I didn't go. You cut me.
Bad.
I didn't even
Yeah. Sorry.
Dak, yes. Ezekiel Elliott, maybe. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like
I'm not a huge fan either.
I mean, there should be better options there. Lamb, yes, that's it. And the kicker, Aubrey.
What about tight end? As Ferguson plays, there's talks that he might be playing.
I don't. Not with his injury. I
don't think you can.
No,
strain MCL. I don't think you can. But
pass on him for now. That's not where we are. Now this game, I'm super interested in. I would love to see
this.
I want to see this
game. Games.
I really want to see this game because is Baker real? This is where I think I was going to put a parlay
against the defense.
The Lions defense.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Is Baker real against that defense? Like that's the question. Like that'll determine whether or not he's truly where he kind of sits on the quarterback totem pole. You know, like does he have this good case? I mean, dude, he's got Godwin and Mike Evans, dude. It's like I don't know. You can't really go wrong. What side do you want? You pick the side.
I'll take Bucks.
All right, go. You go first.
Mayfield, not yet. Wait, I want to see how real it is. You gotta give him another.
All right, so you're waiting for one more week, one more week of validation. Is what I'm saying.
I'm interested to see how Bucky Irving takes White's shares. I
think
want to see if it's going to jump more in a 50-50 like split back committee. To be honest, with you.
So here's my thought on that, dude. I actually think it's going to be, and I think the reason why is because I think Detroit's going to have a pretty good. It's at Detroit, so I think they're gonna start to score a lot of points, and I think it's going to have to be a catch up game, and they're going to utilize Bucky Irving a lot more.
For sure,
that's my thought.
And then Evans and Godwin. That's a
no-brainers. You got to start those, dude. I mean, the last thing I'm going to do is have Evans on your bench. And also he goes off for 2 touchdowns and 90 yards or 110 yards for 2 touchdowns.
So you're satisfied with one more week of Baker being on like a bench or held off a little bit, correct?
I think so. This really determines on like who you have to replace him. You know what I mean? It's like
if you're for your secondary, I'm saying like like a backup. That's what I would do. I'm just saying,
Oh, you just think keep it on the bench. So here's the question: would you do Baker Mayfield or Trevor Lawrence?
That's a tough one, bro. I don't know.
I don't think it's a tough one. I think it's
you take Baker. Yeah, you probably take Baker. Yeah.
I don't think it's tough at all.
I agree.
So I mean, so again, it goes into context, like if you've got obviously Bryce Young and Baker Mayfield, or you've got even Caleb. If you got Caleb and Baker, I'm going Baker over Caleb.
Well, it's funny you said that, and I'm going to do that. That's on my pick. So someone dropped Baker, and I want to get him. I'm actually going to look right now.
Yeah.
Edlin, my wife is watching. She goes, "I'd take Trevor Lawrence." She just texted me, just so you know, because she's
got to put in the chat.
I know, but she's at work, so she's just tuning in and on the side. So yes.
Well, thank you. Appreciate the follow and watch.
Yeah, my wife is out there watching at work.
How weird is it to see your husband on live television on YouTube?
Yeah. Do I look? I hope I look okay for making.
You gotta tell her to text you that, Pat. How weird is it to see her?
She hears you. She's texting me back. She goes anytime. I don't know. She's hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta meet. One day I gotta meet her.
Oh, she's a great.
Evelyn, I gotta meet you one day. I'm flying to Jersey, and we're gonna meet and hang out.
Yeah, she's a trip. She parties more than I do. Let's put it that way. She'll stay up later too.
I'm all game, man. He knows that I like to party, so
yes.
Although I was usually asleep by 11 o'clock. I just start early, and then I usually fall asleep early too. So
that's all right.
All right, Detroit side. Jared Goff.
Love that Detroit side, brother.
Montgomery is starting. Gibbs, I think you got to start. I look at him as more like a running back 3, though, to be honest with you. I have a hard time trusting Gibbs right now. I think he will get there. And the only reason why I say that is because of the injury. Is he fully healthy? There was talks of him not like initially whether or not he's going to play week 1 or not. And then all of a sudden it was like always guaranteed to play week 1. It was a very quick determination, like a couple of days before the game. I think he's still trying to work his way back. I think Amon St. Brown is going to have
a takeoff game.
I think he's going to have a pretty damn good game, dude. I think he's going to be like, hey, Jameson had his, I get it. But you know what? It's my show. And I think he's going to have to put his foot down. I think Sammy Laporta he'll have a decent game. I don't know if he's gonna have a monster game. I think he'll be like a tight end 6 or 7. You're obviously going to start him though, just because again you drafted him that high, you can't not start him.
Agreed.
And then Jameson Williams, I think if you have a few flex spots, like maybe like 2 or 3, or 2, even 2 flex spots, I probably start Jameson Williams. 3 definitely.
We'll go out for real drinks and then we'll go to a brunch, then a strip club. So she's gonna give you a full lineup of things.
I am game. Let's do it.
You're good.
I am totally game. Thank you. It sounds like a perfect trip.
That's my wife. I swear to God, in a nutshell, that's what it would be.
in that order too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And no skipping. It'll end up in a horrible time, but no, it's a good time.
Love it.
So, are you cool with me starting Monty and Gibbs this week?
Who else is on your bench?
Shit. Now you make me look at it. It's my other big league. So,
Tampa Bay D is good though. That's the thing too. Like Tampa Bay, like the defense is pretty good, man.
Here's my lineup. I got Bijan. I got Hurts, Bijan, Gibbs, Nico Collins, Devontae Smith, Monty at flex, Houston's defense, Aubrey's kicking. Then on my bench, I got McLaurin, Ford, Xavier Worthy, Caleb Williams, and Tennessee's tight end. I don't even know how to say it.
Okonkwo?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you probably should. I mean, I'm looking at last week's game. They played against Washington, Tampa Bay defense against Washington. So they allowed 138 yards on 30 rushes. So an average of 4.6. Yeah, and they allowed Austin Eckler to have 52 yards and Brian Robinson to have 49 yards out of the backfield receiving.
Oh, yeah.
So to talk about Gibbs, that's a huge advantage for Gibbs because he's going to come out of the backfield and get catches. So I'd say, yeah, you can start both, dude.
That's what I'm doing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you confirmed my question. Thanks, Matt.
Hell yeah.
All right. So next game, Indy, Green Bay. Should be no Jordan Love. They still put him as questionable.
Dude, I don't know. I saw that too. I'm like, are you kidding me? He looked like his leg is broken at one point.
He's not playing. If he plays tomorrow, then it was like some fraudulent things that I don't know. But Colts, you could start Anthony Richardson. You want to ride that hot hand, see what he has after 1 week, go for it. You gotta start Taylor. That's a no-brainer. And
100%. I think it's gonna be a big Taylor. I think it's actually gonna be a big Taylor game, to be honest with you.
And I gotta tell you this: you gotta start Pittman, no matter what. Michael Pittman is a must start in your lineup.
Really?
Yes, I will. I think this is the week to see what it's really, really what it's about.
That one scares me, to be honest with you.
That's my take. I would do it.
All right. I'm not knocking the take. I'm just saying, like, just Pittman in general. Like, I don't know. You don't think it's gonna be the Alec Pierce game again?
No.
Just thought I'd ask.
No. He's out. And Edlin went to work, so she's officially out. She signs off.
Yeah.
So
thank you for joining.
Yeah, we take everybody. You got to pack your favorite Packers. That's your team. Go Pack. Go.
Yeah, no.
Dude,
everybody. Josh Jacobs might be the only one, but I have a feeling because Indianapolis, their defense is okay, pretty good. I have a feeling they're just going to try to stop the run the whole time. I think it's going to be a very sloppy game. I would have a hard time. I mean, Josh Jacobs, with where you drafted him, you might have to start him because you might not have another option, especially for somebody like me who typically goes wide receiver, and then you pick like a Josh Jacobs or whoever, fill in blank. Yeah. And you might not have a choice because your other running backs might be even worse. So
yeah, I'm with
you might have an opportunity, but he'd be the only one. Like everybody else in that offense scares me. Tucker Kraft got the most targets from the tight end perspective, but I still wouldn't trust him. And again, passing offense I think is going to be atrocious. With Malik Willis, dude, he's not a professional quarterback. I watched him in college coming out, D3 school, or whatever the hell they call it now, D2 school. And Liberty University is where he came out of, dude. And even at Libertyville, playing against like subpar talent, he could barely, all he was really good with was running. And his passes were very erratic. He had some really good deep balls, and then he'd have 5 balls where a guy was wide open and he'd shoot it 3-5 yards over his head. So I don't trust him at all, especially an NFL game, NFL speed. I don't know why. When I remember when Green Bay traded for him, I remember going why in the hell did they trade for him? Like it made no sense to me when you've got somebody, that you could sign on Tannehill, I would have taken Ryan Tannehill as a backup quarterback versus signing him, which they may still end up doing, to be honest with you. If Jordan Love, they feel like they want to put him on IR if he's not going to be ready. I know he's whatever, questionable, which is bullshit. I could easily see them signing like a Ryan Tannehill just to do you a bridge quarterback, because they've got a legit team if they had a quarterback, but Malik Willis is not it. So the whole passing offense is out the window. I'm going to stop talking about it because Josh Jacobs is the only one you can even consider. So it sucks to say because, in the NFC North, the talk was like, you're going to have 4 teams that are going to be vying for, the championship in the North, who's going to win it. And now one team has basically self-imploded because of the injury. So sucks.
Yeah, I'm with it. I agree.
All right, what else we got next, man? Let's keep it rolling. Cleveland at Jacksonville. Did we already do that one? Damn it.
No, we were helping out our friend Kyle. That's why we're really heavy into it. You are going to start ETN. Tank is getting close.
I was saying, would you start both? Because
you could if Detroit. You could if you want. I wish he was on, because then Kyle could really see we're actually into it now. I'm starting Brian Thomas in one of my leagues. I'm convinced that's the number one over Gabe Davis, dude. He's going to be by far.
Oh, Brian Thomas, dude. I think he's really good.
So yes, those are that's who I'm starting. That's it. The running game is, you got to be, flip a coin. If you have both spots, you can use them, and not ETN for sure. And Brian Thomas, no T-Law. Not starting.
Cleveland.
Ford. You can start Ford.
Ford is I'm like, how do I put this? Ford, I think you can start just because I feel like they're going to have to slow down the game. They're not going to give, again, Deshaun Watson 45 passes. If they do that, the coach should be fired, because Deshaun Watson, their offensive line is not that great, as we talked about earlier with Kyle, which is why Deshaun Watson was having as many issues as having. Plus, it's Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry, he's not that good anymore. Let's just be honest. He's not that fucking good. So people need to stop believing that he's going to come back and return to form. He's not. Let it go. Move on.
Yeah, 100%.
Jerome Ford would be probably the only one that I would feel confident in. David Njoku's injured. Yeah, it's not looking pretty for Cleveland, man.
Not at all.
No, it is not looking good for Cleveland, which is crazy because now they're stuck with Deshaun Watson for the next I don't know. I think I was listening to somebody that said that they could get out of his contract, I think, by after next year.
Really?
But still, that's like 4 years, dude, of having this guy.
You don't want that.
What do you think? So here's a question for you. And obviously, Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson.
Agreed.
Amari Cooper has done. He did not really well. He did well last year. I think he was wide receiver, wide receiver 2 last year. Jerry Jeudy's on the team. You and I were kind of like, hey, this might be resurgence for Jerry Jeudy. Then you've also got Elijah Moore, who is also a high draft pick for the Jets, who traded him to Cleveland. Yeah. Any of those 3 that you feel at all comfortable, even in a flex?
No.
That's it.
I don't feel it. Probably not really. You better have better options. How's that sound?
It's a scary proposition, though. If that's what you're.
I don't know, man. I don't like. I'm staying away from Cleveland for a while, dude. Just Ford. Ford is it. Throw him in your flex. That's it.
Yeah, no, I would. I agree with you, man. I feel like you kind of have to and wait. You have to see it first, I guess is the best way to say it, right?
Agreed.
You got to see it before you can actually feel comfortable with it whatsoever. So I agree.
Let's go to a better game. How about the Niners Vikings, bro?
Something better. That's a team teams that are actually worth talking about, that actually have fantasy football players.
Brock Purdy, you could definitely start.
Dude, Brock Purdy, man, he's solid. So underrated, man. It's kind of insane, how much people throw shade on that guy.
So Brock Purdy, yes. Mason, yes.
Oh,
Debo,
100%.
Yes.
CMC's up. Mason, yes. Smash.
So yes.
Would you play in both? Where do you see?
No, Debo's over Ayuk if I have to choose. Yes.
Okay. Where do you see?
Oh, and Moody, the best kicker so far this year. You gotta put him on there. And San Francisco's defense, yes.
Yes, I agree with you on that one.
Got a lot of yeses in there, bro.
There was a lot. I mean, it's good to have one team that actually has some fantasy football stars on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Go to the Vikings. Aaron Jones. JJ, you're definitely starting. Jordan Addison's out, so obviously that answers that question. Aaron Jones is maybe a running back 2 or 3 against that San Francisco defense. That scares me. I don't want to start Aaron Jones. Would you?
No.
How do you feel about Aaron Jones?
A mixed bag for him.
If you were to call it, like if you're like, hey,
people are using him though. People are
well, because you have no choice. It depends on where you
Yeah.
draft. Again, if you went stud and then you pick up Aaron Jones later on, and you're like, all right, he's Aaron Jones, they're going to utilize him.
Got no choice. Yes, Aaron Jones.
Yes, you're going to use him.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people I'm actually using him in one of my leagues, and where you picked him, I think you have to. And he's not. He's still in like at the top 10. I put him in.
Well, he had an awesome game last week.
Yeah, so I would run it. I mean, the Niners defense is good. You saw it happen to Breece Hall. It didn't have like the most phenomenal game. It was just like an okay game. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And it all depends on Darnold too. Does Darnold really show up or show out? You know.
I mean, that's always been the question for Sam Darnold, hasn't it been?
Yeah.
what is he going to actually do?
No, you're 100% right. So I'm with you on that, dude.
We got another stinker coming, dude. I'm not happy about this one. Man. Fucking Seattle at New England, like Bore Central, dude.
Yeah,
New England gets surprised when he gets your fucking team. Like, that's still. I'm still bitter about that, dude.
I'm like, stop! Don't get me going, dude. Upsets me very much.
All right, I'll give you New England. How about
that?
Stevenson. This is easy.
Stevenson.
That's like it's easy. Yeah.
There's no one else. Seattle, you got to be careful too, because I only got one. So Walker's questionable, so
no, I know.
Charbonnet is going to be in there. Like,
and even if he's not, I still feel like Charbonnet ran pretty well last week too, where I could see them just because of even if he plays, Kenneth Walker, they might not give him the full workload. So I would definitely could see Charbonnet.
I think. Oh man, I'm thinking like the receiving core. Could someone pop up like and actually stand out? Because I don't trust Lockett's old ass. I think DK's due and JSN is due.
Done. I think Lockett's done. To be honest with you,
I'm on my JSN bandwagon. Bro.
I don't know, dude. That might be one of those.
I'm not starting him, but
you can't start him until you see it, dude. There's no even question.
You gotta start DK, right?
DK got to start. Yes.
Yeah. So there
you always got to start DK because DK could just sit there and just get one pass for 5 yards and then just like run people over for the next 40. I mean, you just never know with DK. He's such a beast, dude.
Yeah, no, DK Metcalf's the only one I'm going to start with.
Yeah, I agree. Geno Smith not going to start. Like we said, actually, Kenneth Walker is now doubtful, is what I'm looking at too. I don't know if you'd said that. So whenever they say doubtful, we talked about this. He's probably not going to play.
Pretty much out. That's
Zach Charbonnet. If he's still on the waiver wire for some dumb reason, double check right now, just like Kyle did earlier. We're checking with Tank Bigsby. Yeah. Because people should not be on your waiver wire first and foremost. Like I would rather have, and this is one thing that I've gotten better at with fantasy. I'd rather have my bench full of like backup running backs than like wide receiver 5 and 6s.
Agreed.
Because there's more likelihood that the backup running back is going to hit quicker than like your wide receiver 4 or wide receiver 5. Like that's not it's not going to happen. So also George Fenton. With it. What's that?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you 100%. Yeah.
So all right, man. Enough of that game, dude. I think we can move on. So we got what 3? How many? We got 4 more games left, something like that. This is actually should be a good game, and I'll tell you why. New York Jets at the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Do you want to hear why?
Why I want to
hear why it should be a good game.
Of course.
Because I'm hoping. So Aaron Rodgers hopefully playing against an amazing defense last week for Monday Night Football at San Francisco, right? So I'm thinking he needed to get a lot of that. What our mojo back and a lot of it out of his system. So I'm hoping this is why I think it'll be a good game. And it may not be, but I'm thinking it could be Aaron Rodgers trying to get back to his mojo and proving that like he's not old man Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And he's playing against Tennessee, who has a really good defensive front. And I saw it last week against the Bears. That defensive front are beasts, dude. There's a big guys on the defensive front. I could see them chucking or challenging the Giants front line, who did not look good against the San Francisco 49ers last week. Yeah, I like it as like a test for the Jets. They've got to win. If they go 0-2, they're already going to be hearing a lot. You know this. The New York media is going to be shredding them. Aaron Rodgers is back. We should be 2-0. Why the hell are we 0 or at least 1-1?
I see it for sure.
Instead of 0-2. And then they can hear a lot of shit. And then it's going to be like, it's just going to start in the fan. It's going to be talking about the coaches. About Aaron Rodgers, and then it's going to be like just light everybody on fire. So I think it's going to be interesting in that sense because
it's the New York media, bro. It's always how it is, and it'll never change.
Yeah. So from the Jets' perspective, obviously you're not going to start Aaron Rodgers until until you see otherwise. I think it's too much of a challenge to see, or too much of a risk this early in the season. Is he? I mean, both older quarterbacks who are coming off of torn Achilles both struggled, and you can't just overlook that. This is still a really good defensive front, like I said. So it's not like he can just run all around. I think you're gonna start Breece Hall, Wilson, Garrett Wilson. You're gonna start. That's pretty much it, man.
That's no one else though. You really.
So Alan Lazard. That's another question. A lot of people have been picking him up left and right.
I don't want him.
You don't want him on your bench.
No. And the Jets defense you start. That's the only other one you could really add to
that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think definitely Sauce Gardner is going to, I think, have a fucking field day.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what the Bears defense did against
Jets win this game. The Jets are winning the game.
Oh, sure. Dude, if they don't, like I said, it's going to be the banter coming out of New York is going to be so loud. I'll be able to hear it here in Wisconsin. So
for sure.
All right, Tennessee.
Pollard.
Tony Pollard. I think
that's all you could start in this scenario. I'm like, there's no one else.
What about D-Hop? Do you think he was obviously limited last week?
Ridley didn't even do that great, and that's for where you chose him. So
I'm because of the quarterback play. It's because of the quarterback play.
100%.
All right, man. Moving on then, I guess. We don't need to belabor it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is even worse, dude. Well, I mean, this is just good for one.
Oh, reason. For me. You want me amped up, baby? Let's go.
You go. All right, you take this one. You start with this one. Man.
I'll just take the whole thing because it's trash. No one on the Giants now. I'm joking with you. Neighbors is questionable. You probably could do Singletary, but I think they're gonna limit him. Like that's all they got because Daniel Jones sucks balls, bro. So there's nothing to look forward to.
Do you think this is the week they're gonna bench him if he has a bad game?
Next week he will be benched. I think they're gonna put Dan DeVito. Or whatever is Vito, I'm saying.
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, Danny DeVito's going to come in.
Your boy, Danny DeVito?
Yeah, he's going to come in. That's it for the Giants. There's nothing to play with. On the other side, I'm starting B-Rob this week.
Oh, you got to, man. There's not even a question on that. B-Rob is the running back that you need.
And do not
especially against the Giants defense.
Oh, my God.
Like, come on, he's going to run the fuck over that whole entire defense. He's going to be nuts.
Jalen Daniels, no. And no wide receivers.
Aaron Jones had 94 yards rushing last week against the Giants defensive front.
He looked amazing.
And he had one touchdown. So B-Rob all day, every day. Let's go. Wheels up. Fuck yeah.
I like that. That's a super, like, my guy.
Dude, you can put him in a weekly bet too.
You can put him in for a touchdown score? Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm
guaranteeing he scores a touchdown.
You know what the thing is, dude?
And you heard me, and I'm live, so you know what I mean? This is real, bro. So don't.
Pat, this is how bad this is. I've never really done the parlay thing. I told you this last season we were doing pods. I was like, I've never really done like the parlays and all that. And I finally downloaded FanDuel and DraftKings, right? Yep. No. Yeah, DraftKings is the other one.
Yep.
Both of them are banned in Wisconsin, which is where I live.
Badass state. No gambling.
Because it's the politics in the state. That's why. I mean,
we've had FanDuel and we love it, baby. Let's go.
Well, the other problem is too, like there's only one. So like in Wisconsin, there's a lot of Native American tribes that are here.
Oh, so they own? Do they own?
So they own. Yeah, that's where I think the politics really come into play because they actually own. Because there was a talk. Because I'm about an hour away from the border of Illinois, and they're going to try to put another casino down by Illinois, but in Wisconsin. And because of the whole tribe conversation and like tribes own all the casino wealth,
that's like
basically own the casinos.
That's like Connecticut.
Yeah, so I think that's the main reason why, because they've had that contract with them for however long that they can't bring anything in.
Yeah, I think I'd be honest with you. I think Jaden Daniels is going to run.
Dude, I think he's going
to a lot.
I'm just so worried, dude. He ran so much last week. I have him in one league, and I am worried that dude's just going to get snapped in half. I mean, obviously you play him until it happens. I mean, I'm not saying
he had 88 yards rushing in 2
touchdowns. I know. You can't sit him. I'm not saying but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I am worried that eventually it's going to catch up to him.
Agreed.
That's my only fear.
I see it. I'm with you. I think Brian Robinson and Jane Daniels might both score, to be honest with you, this week.
Oh, yeah. I could easily say that. That's what they did last week, too. Both of them scored. Didn't they? I thought, yeah.
Jane Daniels ran one in, and Brian Robinson both did.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, they both. 100%. You're in.
Yeah.
I got you. Let me ask you this: who do you think wins?
All right, let's riff, man.
Real
Come
quick,
on, just me and you. Just me and you
All right.
talking live.
So I'm gonna do a parlay. I'm gonna do it right now.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys -6.5 versus New Orleans. I think they cover.
You think they beat the truck out of New Orleans? Because that's big. 6.5 an NFL game is pretty big.
Yeah, I'm with it. No, bigger is Baltimore beating Vegas over 8.5. Because
but that's Vegas though. Come on,
yeah.
man. Vegas sucks ass.
Would you take San Fran -5.5 over the Vikings?
5.5 is it at Minnesota?
It is at Minnesota.
Yeah, I would take that.
And then I was going to take the Chargers -4.5 against Carolina.
Oh yeah. 4.5. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, dude, I think that's actually the biggest bet that I would smash on. The biggest, to be honest with you.
So, what are you nervous more about Dallas?
It's just a big number. Again, I mean, I know that it's like who they're playing, but it's just I don't know. The Saints, I feel like Derek Carr can. I mean, you saw what he did last. I'm not saying he's gonna do the same. That's not what I'm saying. He's not gonna throw 2 touchdowns.
Let's agree with this.
Alvin Kamara can run
right
for
now.
200 yards. Alvin Kamara can run for 200 yards.
I'll do Baltimore -8.5. San Fran -5.5.
Okay.
The Chargers -4.5 and a Brian Robinson touchdown anytime. That's
Perfect.
plus 1,500.
So let's split it. How about I'll Venmo you the money. We can split it.
I don't care. We can do whatever you want, or we can talk off here. I'll put whatever you want in. This is easy for me.
All right. Because I can't bet. I told you I can't bet. So like I gotta
hear you. You're illegal.
I'm illegal. Yes, I gotta call phone my wager into my bookie. Hey Pat.
Bro. Yo, Jersey. Yeah, hi. How are you? I'll put the headphone in like this, like an agent over here.
Yeah, just kick it down. Be like, yep. I got you, Matt. Got you. We're good.
So we'll make something happen. Rams, Arizona.
Rams, Arizona. All right. This actually, I think, could be a decently good game, man.
So shout out to Kyle. Kyle, we are starting Williams for sure. That's a no-brainer.
Oh, Kyron Williams for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Cooper Kupp. Those are my two you have to start.
Cooper Kupp, yes.
Now, anyone else? I don't really.
Are you doing the whole? You're just talking the Rams first.
I'm doing Rams. I'm just gonna go Rams.
Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna let you do your thing with the Cardinals because you're more invested than I am.
Hold on, I'm gonna look.
That's all I'm picking. I don't want Ty Johnson or Tyler Johnson. You can pass on him yet.
What about? I mean, everybody was running the waiver wire to pick up
Johnson and Robinson.
Robinson, yeah.
Yeah, neither.
And you're staying away from both.
I don't want. I want to see who evens out the pack this week. So I'm gonna go Williams and Kupp. That's it. Period.
Okay. Williams and Kupp. Period. All right.
Moving
on. So Kyler Murray, I think you got to start him. I think, and here's why. We draft him. I'm about to sneeze.
Oof. And it's live.
Sorry, dude. I should have muted. Done on the mute button most.
That's okay. Of course. It's over.
Whatever. It's over. Nobody will get that far into it. Hopefully.
I hope they do. Watch the goddamn episode.
I'm messing, dude. That was just a quick one. It was like, gotta see. So Kyler Murray going to start. James Conner, I think you start. Trey Benson did not look that great last week. Marvin Harrison. Now here's the real question. You have two people, and Kyle asked this other one. Trey McBride. I think McBride has a bounce back game. I think he'll be a top 10 tight end, top 8. I'm calling top 8 tight end this week. We gotta start marking these down, put it on the board. That's what Jack and I used to say. We'd make wagers amongst each other and be like, all right, put it on the board, and then we'd have dollar bets on them.
I like it.
The Marvin Harrison Jr., I think he's gonna have a wide receiver 2 game. I can see Marvin Harrison Jr. getting 6 or 7 targets, catching 4 of them for like 67 yards. It's like a 10-point game.
Yep.
That's what I see.
Cool.
Yeah.
With it. Who wins the game?
That's even a great question. It's at Arizona.
Yes.
Rams.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to stop. I mean, you saw what they did with Cooper Kupp. You know what they're going to do with him. They're going to put him in so many different positions. You're going to have to figure out how to stop him. Cool. He's going to be short, intermediate, long. They've got a running game with Kyron Williams.
Yes.
Where they can run it down your damn throat. And they just got to stay upright. And Kyler's got too many questions, I think, going on with it. That's my call. Right. What about you?
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know. That's a tough call. I
You
don't
gotta
like
make a
that.
call. You can't don't camp the fuck out of that. Come on, man.
I will take.
Don't be a baby.
I'm going to take Arizona home.
Okay.
That's it.
All
See
right.
what they could do. Next up, Justin Fields and the Steelers against them Broncos. Don't even have to waste our time. I'm going to take the Steelers in this because the Broncos are pathetic unless I see something ridiculously great.
Steelers, yes. I agree.
So I'll take Najee Harris and Pickens. You could probably start because Pickens, I think, is going to be the only one that you could start.
Yeah,
Najee.
out of both teams, you're saying.
Yeah, like
Najee,
I totally Najee Harris and Pickens are like the only two you can start. Period.
I totally agree. I think after that, it's like you're wasting your time if you think anybody else is going to do anything. Audric Estime is also on IR now too for the running back for Denver. So,
McLaughlin.
Yeah, McLaughlin's going to get him more. They're going to end up splitting between Javonte and McLaughlin or Jalen again. Jaleel. Sorry, Jaleel. I said Jalen. Yeah.
All right. Who are you picking?
Pittsburgh. Okay. I agree with you.
Making sure.
I think Denver's in over the head. I just don't think Bo Nix is not going to be that great for the first year or so. I could see him being a pretty big struggle. So
I gotcha. Question for you: are you ready for the main event of the Bengals?
The Bears
Chiefs?
in Houston. Oh, no. Bengals Chiefs. Oh, you're there. Okay. Yeah, I am. Are you? That's the main question. There's a lot of shit talking going back and forth.
Oh, apparently. I know, dude. Xavier Worthy, I think goes off because they're just fucking ripping this poor bastard, bro. I'm like, come on.
They're like talking. I'm like, you guys are giving him so much fucking fuel. They're like, all he can do is run fly route or run go route. So
he's
like,
just gonna, they're gonna they and you know what's funny because this is like a new rival. These two like don't like each other. Even Jamar was like, yo, we don't like them and they don't like us.
Yeah, that's all Jamar said. He's like, yeah, we hate each other. So what's your point?
I think it's great. I wouldn't be surprised Bengals pull this out, as crazy as it sounds. For some reason, they just do play really well in Arrowhead. They just call it Burrowhead till they lost it, but you're motivating them the wrong way. That's the only thing I get nervous about. You're talking shit. Like, dude, you got to back it up now.
Is T. Higgins coming back this week?
No. He's not.
That was confirmed, right?
Yeah, he's not playing.
Okay.
Who are you taking? I just want to know who you're taking. That's all I need to know, who you're taking. I'm going to take the Bengals, dude. I want to see the upset.
I'm seeing Chiefs.
Yeah, it's the easy pick.
But it's not the easy pick because Chiefs, I mean, they had one good game last week, but even all last year, they were up and down, dude. They got trucked by Detroit at the beginning of the season. I mean, they have more offensive weapons. I mean, the biggest thing is like you're starting to see without Higgins
what it's like. Yeah, it's different.
Right. And it's Cincinnati, and this is like not a like they lost Mixon. We talked this on Tuesday. They lost Mixon, and then they lost Higgins. Those are two major integral parts of your offense.
Oh yeah, 100%, bro.
So now they're just trying to find their way, and I don't know if they're going to find their way after week 2.
So
in Kansas City,
does Burrow bounce back? Yes or no?
No, I think Burrow has a good game. I think
okay.
Chase has 2 touchdowns. I think Chase goes for 110 yards, but I just don't think it's enough because it's just those two. And that's my point.
Zach Moss gets in?
I could see, Zach Moss gets in for 1. So that's 3. So then it's like 21. I think it's going to be like 30-27. It'll be a close game, but I think it'll be like they just squeak it out.
Okay.
Because to your point, they always, for some reason, they always find a way. Even if one of them is down for the year where they're not looking that great, they find a way to just be scrappy with each other because they hate each other so much. But I do see it being more of an offensive scoring game.
Yeah, I agree. So do you start Burrow? Yes or no?
I think, like, honestly, like where you drafted him. Well, actually, he went pretty far down the draft. I would start Baker Mayfield over Burrow, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's fair. Do you start Zach Moss?
Yes. I can see Zach Moss a good start.
Jamar Chase, you have to pick.
You have to. You have to. There's not even a question, dude.
So Chiefs, Mahomes, Pacheco. I think you got to start Xavier Worthy.
Rice.
Xavier Worthy and Rice for sure.
Oh yeah, you can't say Rice after his game that last
and
week.
Does Kelsey bounce back with a decent game today or Sunday? I was gonna say. I'm not a fan of him, dude. I think he's just getting older, bro. I really do.
He even at the end of last year, like he had one good game in the playoffs, but the 2 games before that, he was like shut out again. Like I think he's going to be one of those players during the twilight of his career where it's going to be roll the fucking dice and that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
I just don't think it's going to be like
Consistently
the Kelce
what he
Bowl where
was.
it's going to be consistently 15 points, consistently 10 points. It's going to be 1 week 4 points, the next week 30, the next week 10, the next week 4. Like it's going to be all over the board, and it's just going to be a roller coaster ride, which sucks for you drafted him, but you have to play him. I mean, you're not going to sit Kelce.
No.
Because again, we talked about this as well, is all the other tight ends fucking sucked. So like who are you sitting him for? I mean,
I don't know.
Isaiah Likely, who may not be what he was.
Not even what he was one game in. I don't know.
Right.
Man. To be determined. We'll see what it is. All right, bro. Go ahead. Take your homer. Go for it.
Here we go. The Chicago Bears at the Houston Texans. Ooh, I don't feel comfortable starting any Bears.
I have more, but I don't know if I'm going to start him, to be honest with you.
Well, here's the thing.
He's number one because the other ones are all questionable.
Well, I mean, Rome's going to be out. There's already
and now Keenan Allen's questionable for game. They're going to do a game time decision.
Yeah,
like usual.
So,
yeah, that's about it.
If you had to, I could see DJ Moore being the one that you start, but that's about it.
Yeah,
because even if Keenan plays, he could do something to aggravate it in the first quarter, and he could be pulled from the game. Like it's not worth the risk.
No, I wouldn't even put him in.
Swift, no, I don't trust that offensive line. They're playing against the Texans, who have also a very good defensive front. So yeah, that whole offense scares the shit out of me. To be honest with you,
I'm with you.
Although I will say this, actually, I'll take this back. The one sneaky play where you could do like for weekly, wager. I could see Cole Kmet potentially having, if you got Keenan Allen out, if you've got Rome Odunze out, you got DJ Moore, and it goes back to what it was last year. DJ Moore and Cole Kmet are your 1 and 2. I could see him being more of an offensive front, because also I could see them doing 2 tight end sets and having a second tight end being a blocking tight end, and having Cole Kmet being the receiving tight end in that formation.
Yeah, I'm with that for sure. Like it.
Even though Everett last week, Everett had more routes and more targets than Cole Kmet.
I'm with it.
Houston Texans, your team, CJ Stroud. Stop looking at we're almost done. We're almost an hour.
No, I'm going through some stats to see what I want to say.
Right.
So Stroud, no brainer. I have him in all my leagues. That's what I was looking at. I'm like, I have him in 4 leagues because I am so invested in Stroud. That is my number 1 quarterback. So everyone knows that's my guy. I don't even think I have Stroud. I have Jalen Hurts in 1 league, and the rest are all Strouds. Just so everyone, like, that's how invested I am.
Yeah, you're like reaching for him. Like as soon as you're like, he might go, I'm taking him. Yep,
dude, I have to. Mixon start. Tank Dell, Nico Collins.
Mixon, so let's pause. What do you think about Mixon, man? Like, how do you feel about him?
For him?
No, that's what I'm saying. Because I know you from coming from Cincinnati, like you really did appreciate him a lot.
Hasn't skipped a beat at all. He looks exactly what he was doing here.
And he's running angry because he asked for a contract and they basically told him to go. They basically said he can go. So like, you can go.
Stupid move. Tank Dell, start. Nico Collins, start. And Diggs, you will start.
Oh, you got to,
all 3. Yeah. And I'm starting their defense this week.
What about Dalton Schultz?
Not starting him. I don't need him, but you could if you need him.
No, I agree.
It's not like it's like the last licks. He's gonna get the scraps at the table.
I agree with that fucking everything you just said, man, and the defense as well too. I think the defense is just gonna. I'm worried.
Yeah, I got him. Matt, last and final game, the battle
Monday
of the birds.
Night Football. What
game
is up? The Dirty Birds versus the what birds? Which side do you want? At Philadelphia, by the way.
I know. I'm going to take the crappier team. I'm going to take the Falcons with the.
Well, there's a lot of questions. That's actually a fun.
So
the more enjoyable
one. If this is Kurt's curtain call, how's that sound? Boom.
Ooh, put a mic drop on that one.
I am. I'm calling it. If he does really shitty, you're going to see someone moving up real quick, heavy in practice this week, repping with the first.
Michael
team.
Penix. Here we go.
Yes.
They're
not going to wait. Penix. There's too much money, and there's a lot of people waiting. That's it. Brian Robinson, hell yeah. Ray McLeod, you will not start because he ain't going to get it. Drake London will be getting a better game, I hope. I mean, there's not like, dude.
They can't get worse than what they did last week. Dude.
Yeah,
that's all
him and Pitts.
Pitt's got a touchdown at least, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
come
that
on.
saved his ass. Without that, you know, he was a dud. And we talked
Oh,
about
100%.
studs and
Yeah,
duds.
we totally talked about it. I'm just saying that, like, at least he got the touchdown, though.
This is Kurt Cousins' curtain call. Either the curtain, he's getting the hook and the curtain falls on him, or he'll stay on to the next act.
Yeah,
That's my thing. I told you by week 3, week 4, get ready for a transition and cutting them.
I'm not. If he has a game like he had last week, where he literally looked like a statue, could barely move, did not look comfortable whatsoever, and was missing targets, like, he will be done. I think they'll give him, like, either they're pulling him week 3 or to your point, week 4 at the very latest.
That's it.
Who did they play in week 3? Let's look that one up real quick. You look that one up while I'll talk about the Philadelphia side.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Jalen Hurts starting. Saquon Barkley, unfortunately, is starting. He's not a big fan, but you're starting him. It just goes back to, like, I didn't think he's Saquon Barkley. He's going to get injured at some point this year. Just mark my words. You're starting Saquon Barkley, especially against the Atlanta defense. They're just going to. I think Philadelphia's going to get ahead early, and they're just going to run the shit out of the ball afterwards. AJ Brown starting. Devontae Smith starting. And that's it. That is it.
They play.
I would almost say.
Do you want to know who they play? Defense? They play Kansas City. So good luck on your third game, bro.
Is that a primetime game?
Oh, man, now you're asking too many questions. I just looked on my fantasy. No, there's no time on here. I'll click it though. See if I get it.
No, it means that it's in Sunday, regular time Sunday. They figure out the time slots on Sunday. If it was Thursday, Sunday night, or Monday night, they would already have it locked usually.
I gotta smoke them.
Dude,
I feel bad, bro. Feel bad for them, but Atlanta's not looking good. That might be literally the last game you see Cousins on stage. They'll be like, all right, dude, get the shit kicked out of you. And we're putting the little guy in, that new rookie.
They're like, well, especially coming off of prime time. And then if he goes to Kansas, it's at Kansas City or at you don't need to look it up. Don't worry about it.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter.
It's going to be a beat down wherever the hell it is. It doesn't matter what city it is. It's going to be a beat down.
Done. So that's
Pat. What do you got, man? That is a wrap. An hour and 15 minutes.
I'm excited, man, for the good old week. Thank you for Kyle, my wife, and whoever else is popping in and out. Appreciate everyone. Yeah. We'll build this up more and more. This is just the beginning, just like everything else.
We got to keep it consistent, and we got to make sure we market the hell out of it and let everybody know.
I posted it on Instagram too with the link, by the way.
You got to post it every one of your leagues. I know you did.
I just did it now while we were live, even. I did a repost.
Well, it's hard for people to do it when it's live. I was trying to get.
I have the link. It'll click you right to it.
No, but it's like sometimes people are like I was asking Ronnie, but he's like, it depends on the kids are asleep. He's like, it depends on if the kids are asleep. He's like, if the kids are asleep, I'll jump on. So it's like usually people have, they got a plan, man. So,
I know.
So yeah, next time we're going to try to do this every Friday at the same time. If people watch us afterwards and say, hey, I would have joined you if you guys went on earlier or later to let us know. Pat's an hour ahead of me, or an hour. He's on the East Coast. I'm in the Central.
Yep.
So I don't know, go too late because I know Pat's got obviously his night that he wants to take care of. But if you guys are like, hey, if you guys could roll earlier, that'd be better. We'd be on. Let us know. Again, we want to do this weekly. We'll do at least one weekly. Talked even about doing the Tuesday weekly, but it just depends on how our feed goes with All In, because that also for South Harmon, what we're doing on Tuesdays as well. So thank you for watching. Yes, right there. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this afterwards, please hit the subscribe and the like.
And comment.
And leave comments to Kyle as well. Kyle flooded our comments, so thank you. Love it, Kyle. Love it. Kyle Singer, anytime you got any questions, man, welcome to join. You can hit us up on Instagram, X, whatever that is. I run all the X accounts. This boy over here, whichever way, runs the IG account. So hit us up, and we'll answer any and all questions, man. But until next time, peace. We're out.
Later.